Truly a big day for Doug Kaufman, a great day for Know the Cause, a wonderful day for each and every one of you, because a gentle man, if there's ever a man that put the gentle in gentleman, it is my guest today. Tullio Simoncini is a medical doctor. Further, he has his board certification in oncology. He is a cancer doctor, and yet he saw something terribly wrong with what was going on in oncology in Italy, and the word has spread. You guys, how many of you have emailed me? 100 of you, 200 of you? Doug, do you believe this book that came out, Cancer is a Fungus? That's the book authored by my guest today, Dr. Simoncini. Now, tell us a little bit about, you've been in many bodies. What do you look for as you navigate that camera through a person's body?
If you enter in the body and you reach an organ affected by the cancer, you can see that the lumps are always white.
The lumps are white? Lumps
are always white, because if you look at a CAT scan or an MRI, you see an indirect image. So if you go directly with a video camera, you can see that it is always white. Sometimes it is covered with blood or with the defense reaction.
Mm-hmm.
But in every post-mortem examination, scientists find the white lumps, the white masses, that is fungi.
Oh, see, because yeast and fungi are white. Anybody take a mushroom, crush it up. It's a white mass. So as we continue now today, we're going to show you, many of you have never seen this, so Dr. Simoncini is going to push a button and we're going to show you inside a body while he talks to us. Go ahead and do that.
Yes. This is the pleura. We entered with a camera, and look, the pleura should be red, but you can see all the lumps, all the cancer that is white. Really white. This is the heart beating. This is a bronchial cancer. Look, we went into the bronchia. Look, with the bronchoscope. Look, they are white. White, now, as usual. And then in the colon cancer. This is red because there is a little bit blood. I washed it up.
Okay, and now it's white.
Now, look. The density is different. So it's different, but it is always white under the first look. It's always white. And look, after one day treatment, okay.
Look, it looks like thrush.
Yes.
On a tongue, which is yeast.
This is the same illness, but here the fungus is on the surface. When the fungus enter in the body, in the depth of the body, it becomes a lump, and the reaction, the invasion and the reaction make the cancer, the lump, the tumor.
So we are doing an X-ray, an imaging of some kind, and it looks black. You know, it's a shadowing on the, and so I always thought cancer was black, but this clearly demonstrates that it's not. Once a doctor sees that tissue, does a biopsy. Is biopsy okay, or does it hurt? Biopsy sometimes bleed and bleed and bleed.
Biopsy is damages the tissues and favors cancer because, as I told you, damages the tissue. You can see the blood, the bleeding.
Yes.
But when doctors make the biopsy, they pick up just the outside part of the tumor. That is the reaction. They can see the fungi because they just pick up the external part of the cancer.
Of course, the prostate.
So the histologic examination is a complete stupidity because it shows just the defense reaction, but we don't care to know how the body defend itself. We have to know what is inside the cancer. Cancer is like a solid abscess. Mm-hmm. So we have to see what is inside the abscess. Tumors, cancer, are formal descriptions. They don't say anything.
Nor do the laboratory reports, because what they have determined, according to you, is what's on the sac. The heart, pericardium.
Yeah.
You know, the prostate, a sac around the prostate. That's what they're measuring.
Yeah.
Not what's inside the prostate. Now, take a tumor, this patient that you showed us here. Your therapy is so magnificently simple, and apparently this is really working. You're talking about baking soda, sodium bicarbonate. Do you squirt with a syringe? Do you inject into the tissue with cancer? How do you do this?
The problem is that sodium bicarbonate is the strongest substance against fungi. It is an antifungal drug, terrible antifungal drug. And furthermore, they cannot adapt to a salt because it is not a complex substance. That's why the antifungal drug, today's antifungal drugs are ineffective, because the fungi can adapt themselves in 3-4 days. They are not shared elements. They are social elements. They communicate. They are connected by pores, and they can adapt themselves because they have a big power of adaptation, because they are the masses. Imagine shared cells like bacteria. You can poison them at once with some penicillin. Yep. But for a fungus, you give an antifungal drug. You can kill the first layer, but the second layer they get used and they eat. Yes. Drugs, chemotherapy, everything.
They resist. Totally resist. Do you know Dr. Costantini?
Simon.
Yeah. Dr. Costantini one time told me that a fungus cell, right? We're talking about fungus and cancer. A fungus cell has a cell wall and a nucleus. A human cell has a cell wall and a nucleus. He said, how is an antifungal drug going to kill this without killing this human cell? The perfect antifungal, as the good doctor says, will never be developed, because to kill fungus perfectly is to kill human perfectly. While we're on that road, I wonder what cancer statistics really are. When I was writing my book, The Germ That Causes Cancer, I'm sure when Dr. Simoncini was writing his book, difficult to find statistics. Very difficult to see how effective chemotherapy was, how wonderful radiation is. In America, we have 3 options if you have cancer: surgery, chemo, and radiation. 2 of the 3 cause cancer. Does that make sense to you? Or should we be looking in the right direction? We'll be right back with you. Oh, this is a banner day with a banner physician here. Tullio Simoncini is his name. You don't have to remember that name. Many of you have already bought his book. Do you believe the title, Cancer is a Fungus? Not maybe cancer causes some fungus. Not in the next 10 years we'll figure out what causes cancer. Cancer is a fungus. Dr. Simoncini is able to liberate the solid tumor, which I can't do, folks. I'm not a physician. I could never, working with all of these poor people, with their doctors, I could never say, I have an idea. Why don't we liberate the lump? Why don't we get the lump? And sure enough, we retract, we go in, it's white. It's white. Yeast is white. So we get inside the tumor, and then let's do something that would change the pH very quickly. This is an acid-growing mass. Let's make it alkaline. Sodium bicarbonate, about 12 cents. Let's do that.
thanks for coming in.
It's a great pleasure, thank you.
This ship that was involved in the incident off Western Australia this week...
Yeah, the one the front fell off?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very typical. I'd like to make that point.
Well, how is it untypical?
Well, there are a lot of these ships going around the world all the time, and very seldom does anything like this happen. I just don't want people thinking that tankers aren't safe.
Was this tanker safe?
Well, I was thinking more about the other ones.
The ones that are safe?
Yeah, the ones the front doesn't fall off.
Well, if this wasn't safe, why did it have 80,000 tonnes of oil on it?
Well, I'm not saying it wasn't safe. It's just perhaps not quite as safe as some of the other ones.
Why?
Well, some of them are built so the front doesn't fall off at all.
Well, wasn't this built so the front wouldn't fall off?
Well, obviously not.
How do you know?
Well, because the front fell off and 20,000 tonnes of crude oil spilled into the sea caught fire. It's a bit of a giveaway. I just like to make the point that that is not normal.
Well, what sort of standards are these oil tankers built to?
Oh, very rigorous maritime engineering standards.
What sort of thing?
Well, the front's not supposed to fall off for a start.
And what other things?
Well, there are regulations governing the materials that they can be made of.
What materials?
Well, cardboard's out.
And?
No cardboard derivatives.
Like paper?
No paper. No string, no sellotape.
Rubber?
No, rubber's out. They've got to have a steering wheel. There's a minimum crew requirement.
What's the minimum crew?
Oh, one, I suppose.
So the allegations that they're just designed to carry as much oil as possible, the hell with the consequences, I mean, that's ludicrous.
Absolutely ludicrous. These are very, very strong vessels.
So what happened in this case?
Well, the front fell off in this case, by all means, but it's very unusual.
But Senator Collins, why did the front book fall off?
Well, a wave hit it.
A wave hit it?
A wave hit the ship.
Is that unusual?
Oh, yeah. At sea, chance in a million.
So what do you do to protect the environment in cases like this?
The ship was towed outside the environment.
Into another environment?
No, it's been towed beyond the environment. It's not in the environment.
No, but from one environment to another environment.
No, it's beyond the environment. It's not in an environment. It has been towed beyond the environment.
Well, what's out there?
Nothing's out there.
Well, there must be something out
there.
There
is nothing out there. All there is sea and birds and fish.
And?
And 20,000 tonnes of crude oil.
And what else?
And a fire.
And anything else?
And the part of the ship that the front fell off. But there's nothing else out there.
Senator Collins, thanks for joining us.
It's a complete void.
Yeah, we're out of time.
The environment's perfectly safe. We're out of time?
Yeah.
Can you book me a cab?
But didn't you come in a Commonwealth car?
Yes, I did. But
what happened?
well, the front fell off.